Hello everyone, my name is Jeff, and this is the Zombie Land Saga Episode 8 review. With me, as always, are Coby and Torie. Hi guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Happy to be here.
Happy to be here. We are recording a bit later than usual because of the Thanksgiving weekend, but here we are nonetheless.
Yeah,
But
sorry about that, guys.
It's okay. We're sorry about that, but let's be thankful for a moment because I thought this was a really good episode.
I do too. Should we just talk about it then right away?
I guess so. It's a very appropriate episode because of the Thanksgiving, everyone's being with family and stuff.
Yeah, so the episode begins with Franchouchou gushing over their recent media coverage. There was an article written about them and a nice photo op, so they're kind of reading through that and they're very excited about it. And then it cuts to the reporter's room, the same reporter that recognized Franchouchou these past few episodes.
It was the same reporter?
When? Wait, yeah, where was that?
Was it the same?
The one who wrote the article is what you're saying, right?
I thought that the part that it cuts to was the same office as the dude who, the photographer guy that's been spying at them from afar. Is that a different person?
I thought it was different. I thought that was
different as well.
Yeah, different setting.
Oh, wow. I completely missed that. I thought it was the same office that we saw before.
I assumed that when the beginning of the episode started, but it seemed like a different office and it didn't have the other guy with him, so that's why I assumed not.
Well, I've already forgotten everything. All right,
Off to a great
for
start.
correcting me. Anyways, yeah, so it's an office, essentially, and it's a lunchtime, and one guy is asking everyone what they want for lunch, and suddenly this fantastically large man erupts from behind the desk and walks off and says he doesn't want anything, stating that, he doesn't want anything, and the other coworker has a TV on, and he mentions that the big guy, we'll call him Takeo, because that's his name. It's revealed later on in the episode. Takeo doesn't like TV, and for why, we don't know yet. And after that, it jumps back into the basement, and Kotaro is doing his usual thing where he will, congratulate Franchouchou and then ask them what their thoughts are, and then berate them and yell at them afterwards, and then do something weird. This time, he does something weird with the conch shell. I mean, he just uses it as a megaphone. So
yeah,
it's
he can't speak to it. And no, he doesn't do that thing he normally does because this time it's the opposite. This time,
sure, different reason, same flavor.
Different, yeah, because the girl says, what's our main girl's name? Sakura?
Sakura.
Yeah.
Sakura says, I feel like you're going to yell at me if I get too big for my britches, so I don't think I'm going to do it. And he's like, well, you should. You're huge now. Ride that wave. So classic reversal.
It subverts your expectations.
That's our wild card right there.
Mm-hmm. You guys sound so in love with that.
I'm sure you loved it, didn't you, Coby? You just love that goof.
I love
the hell out of it.
Doesn't get tired every time. Give him a weird prop and a weird voice. I can do without him just yelling directly at the girls for being stupid, but yeah,
that's part of his charm, though, isn't it?
I wouldn't call it charm.
It would be weird if he didn't at this point. If he stopped yelling at them, that would be weird.
Then we would think something is wrong with him.
Yeah.
No, maybe he would have a character development.
That he's learned to love these girls as his own because the zombies are more human than he's ever experienced in his life, and now his heart exists at this point.
Now that I think about it, those scenes would be a lot more boring if he didn't yell. Think of that scene, but think of him saying everything calmly.
Well, yeah, that's why That's why they keep going back to that, because then there'd be nothing.
You should be excited, Sakura.
I mean, I agree. It wouldn't
ride
be
that big wave. Use your Pinocchio nose.
What does that mean?
That's my Kotaro impression.
But it wouldn't be as funny as if he wasn't yelling at them. But it's just not right, man. You little kids.
Well, they're undead. They can take it.
Oh.
Yeah, they're not little kids. They're subhumans at that point.
I guess that's okay.
Not even human.
But he just feels like the guy that makes it funny. Hey.
That is him. He's the guy that makes it funny.
It's gonna be funny here. Let's add Kotaro.
So afterwards, Kotaro tells them the next stage of their plan. Their plan is to go on the offensive now that they've gotten some good media coverage over at Saga Rock. Now they are planning to be a real proper name in Saga, where everyone's grandma and everyone's child knows them. And to do that, they basically have to do every little thing thrown at them. They're going to do little mini concerts. They're going to do appearances and commercials, and and
man.
that they do.
Montage.
There's a montage sequence of them doing all the different things. And after one of these performances, during one of the photo op fan meet and greet events, the same big guy from earlier, Takeo, appears. And he is in line to meet Lilly. And if you don't remember, Lilly is the littlest of Franchouchou. She's a little girl.
She's shrimpy.
She's shrimpy, as Saki lovingly calls her. And so Takeo goes up to her and grabs her and says, "You look just like," and then Saki comes into the rescue because, why wouldn't you? It's kind of a weird situation. Big guy grabbing a little girl.
Huge dude grabbing a girl, and who they think is a loan shark, a debt collector for Kataru. Like, obviously, he looks like a debt collector. They call him a yak.
Yeah.
That's what they call him.
A yak. But it was also because the other rule of they weren't allowed to touch the girls when they were taking pictures. And he clearly touched her.
And then he clearly grabs her.
Mm-hmm.
So Saki basically does a flying karate kick and smashes him against some nearby speakers. And they detain him for questioning, and he is regretful for his actions. And after that, we get another sequence where it's the end of the night, and the girls are kind of recounting what happened during the day, and Lilly is off on her own. And Lilly, turns out, recognizes the big-ass man, and wouldn't you believe it, that's actually her daddy.
What?
Her Pappy.
Oh my goodness.
Pappy.
Which ruins my theory about the other creepy photographer guy being, was it Junko's father?
Oh, so now they can't play that card twice.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be boring, so I gotta come up with a new theory.
Yeah, and so begins the flashback to Lily's life. And, well, if you didn't know by now, it's a Lilly episode. So we learn a little bit about Lilly and her relationship with her father. Turns out Takeo was a big fan of television, and Lilly wanted to be in the television so that she could make him happy from both sides of the screen. And Takeo becomes her manager, and eventually Lilly begins growing some body hair, a little bit on her leg, and she's pouting and refuses to get out for what I assume to be is a filming of a show. And Takeo is furiously pounding away the door, trying to get her to get out. And then Lilly sees a piece of hair sticking from her chin, and then she dies.
And her heart explodes.
That is her death scene. And it's a really good mixture of funny and sad, like the way she dies is funny, but then the reaction, like the genuine, authentic sadness from her father, Takeo, is sad. But it's like just a great juxtaposition, if you will, of emotions. And it's interesting.
What I really liked about that is because at first on the surface level, it seems silly because it's like, oh, she sees, hair on her chin and her heart explodes. I mean, like that's kind of funny because it's an overreaction. But then as you kind of realize like why that affected her so much, it's because she thought her being young and on TV was her closest connection to her dad. So her growing up and getting out of that phase, she was afraid she was going to lose his love by doing that. So it's like a silly thing. It seems like such a vanity thing at first and such a silly thing at first, but it's actually rooted in really like a deep personal connection in her relationship with her father. And I was so surprised that I got this much emotion out of a Lilly episode because this was the episode I was like looking forward to least.
Plus, as a girl, when you are I don't know how young she is or how young she's supposed to be, but when you're a teenager and you get hair on your body, that's not a good thing for a girl. You kind of overreact a little bit.
Okay.
But that's just in the little girl's perspective. Because apparently
it's revealed that during the flashback, Takeo is actually referring to Lilly as Masao. And that is a decidedly masculine name. And I think the actual, like, the meaning of that name is literally like proper man or something like that. It literally just means like a dude. Yeah.
Did you look that up?
I did. I decided to look it up. And then Takeo, his name is Warrior Man or something like that. So basically, they both have like extremely manly dude names. And it's essentially revealed that Lilly is actually a little boy. She's a trap. is what
Yeah.
they call them, I think.
Is that what they call them?
Yeah, and then the internet, whatever. Anyways, yeah. So yeah, she's actually a little boy, and but it's okay because she will look like this forever from now on because she's a zombie.
She's a zombie.
And, yeah, and I really like this angle that the show is going into because the past few episodes have been dealing with
I
and Junko and their relationship with their past before they died, and this is explicitly that, but also it's about the people they left behind, and in this case it's about the father that Lilly left behind, and yeah, it's just a really good emotional angle. It got me pretty good. I mean, we haven't finished talking about the episode, but
Yeah,
just
and
want to talk about
the other girls start talking about how this could happen to happen to the ones that are most current. Like, they got to be more careful that suddenly people could start recognizing them, and who knows if it can be just as emotional as someone's father.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then afterwards, Takeo goes again to a fan meetup, and this time he behaves himself and he doesn't grab Lilly, but he just decides to get a T-shirt and apologizes to her, and for what happened, I guess the day before or whenever the last time they saw each other was, and he's like, I'm really sorry about that. I just wanted a shirt, and there's some undertones of like, Lily is kind of sort of accidentally revealing little things that he knows about her dad, like what size shirt he is, and
She almost calls her Pappy.
yeah, which
Yeah.
is, what she called her dad. And
She's
and-
totally unchill about her thing. She's like, okay, I'm gonna not blow my cover. Oh, hey, you're a 7XL or 5XL. Damn it! Oh, sorry, you're Pap. Oh, Dad, damn it!
Luckily, Takeo doesn't. He doesn't fall for this. He has basically decided that there's no way that could be his daughter, which is makes sense. His
Which
daughter's
makes
dead.
sense because it was 7 years ago, right?
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a minute. And he says, I'm sorry, and I will never see you again. And then he just walks off. And I thought that was really sad.
It was so sad.
Yeah, it was. This was. I admit it. I was tearing up during this episode just because it was like tears didn't leave my eyes, but I felt them getting watery. I'm just like, this is actually affecting me in a way that I would not have guessed.
Yeah, I wanted her to get up and, call him back and do something, and she didn't. It was so sad.
Yeah, and luckily they do something about it. Franchouchou, they do the only thing that they can do, and they write a heartfelt song specifically for Lily's father, and they're going to debut it and unveil it at their next concert. And Takeo gets some notice of this, but it's unclear as to whether or not he's going to make it. And it then cuts to Franchouchou at said concert. They're about to wrap up, and Takeo has yet to show up, when suddenly you hear thud, 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 giant footsteps of this
So
man.
funny.
And I gotta say, the way they animate this guy is hilarious because it's very inconsistent. Like, they don't, even the animators don't know what proportions to use for this guy, because sometimes his head is like way too small.
Yeah.
And other times he's fine, but like, he's basically just this giant, it's a comically giant man, and I think that's funny. Anyways, yeah, so he makes it. And we got a fresh new song from Franchouchou, this time of the slow song-ish variety, and they don't use the 3D animation. I think they use it kind of at the end, but for the most part, it looks like the regular 2D animation that we are used to, for which I am very thankful.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
And what did you guys think of the song?
Oh my gosh, it was so sweet.
It was sweet. It was, it had like an interesting rhythm and beat to it that I think like I'm not used to as like a song format, but it's like the message behind it was just really nice for all around.
Yeah, I kind of agree on the rhythm and timing of the song. It was a little weird. Like, it picked up at certain points and then slowed down, and it was very inconsistent. Like, it wasn't the best song I've heard, but the message behind it and the lyrics were really sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a portion, especially in the beginning, where I felt like, and by the way, Lilly is of course the main lead of this song.
Yes.
But like she's, I felt like she was saying way too many words at once.
Yeah.
Trying to fit in as many sentences as possible in like one section, and it was kind of odd. But yeah, it was effective, very effective, especially for the moment, especially the way they cut it and animated it and stuff, and
They kept shooting to his father or her father, and
yeah, and
he
he's
was
tearing.
crying.
Yeah, and they do a good performance. And after that, we see them back. We see Takeo at the office again, and instead of walking off during lunchtime when the TV is on, instead he decides to stick around, and he sees his daughter's face during the chicken commercial that they did, and he smiles, got a little smile on his face. So nice, just a really nice bittersweet ending.
Yeah,
and I don't know, just a really solid episode. I have really no complaints. I think it might be my favorite, honestly.
It had the most emotion packed behind it, and even though I love like the first 2 episodes between, just for like their humor, it's not like I remember any of the jokes specifically from like those first 2 episodes. I just remember that they were really funny. This is one that I will remember for the plot and for its meaning and for the emotion behind it, and like for actually what happened. So I think I agree with you. This one might be my favorite episode.
It's probably a top one for me. It was super effective in its emotionalness. It's weird because I didn't think this show was capable of such emotion. I thought it was just going to be goofs and gaffs, and they wouldn't really dwell on so much of the emotion of behind these characters, because I thought it would just be too complicated to add things like your dad coming into the concert recognizing you. I didn't think they would address those types of things, and I think that the fact that they did and they executed so well makes me more excited for the show.
Yeah.
I mean, this show to me really, and we've suspected this until up to this point, that the writers of the show, they know their shit and they know what they're doing. But this one is just, I think, really cream of the crop, really showing their stuff. Like, they're able to introduce a new character, make us emotionally invested in an old character that hasn't really had many lines, and basically have a beginning, middle, and end to a very satisfying mini story arc related to a character that we haven't really seen much of. And it made me care about Lilly. She's like a really cool character to me now. And
after I thought she
really
was my
love that.
least favorite, after I thought like, man, I know we're going to get an episode about her, and no matter what I had in my head about how her story was going to go, I would not have guessed that, obviously, that she was going to be a trans girl. And that was just crazy. And how invested I got in this like 22-minute story from start to end was just top-notch show. Good on it.
Yeah. I think she was a lot of people's least favorite characters. Most of the time she kind of seemed whiny or annoying, like the little girl who everyone is like, okay, we're all adults here, please grow up.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was capable of giving some strong emotion. And by the way, I want to mention this because we skipped right over it. There was a little funny, it was kind of like a little goof where Saki said, like, I don't care what kind of junk she has. And then, like, I think it was Junko was like, junk?
Junk? Yeah.
Junk?
Yeah. So we've got 3 episodes left of the show. Do you guys think that they're going to give every other character their own little dedicated episode, or do you think they're going to sort of ramp up towards the plot finale?
I think they got to. I think the next the next episode's like that really long episode title, and I didn't really see who it seemed to be focused on. But we still, it kind of looks like a Saki episode.
We'll. Do you think so? Because we already kind of got a little bit from Saki.
But we don't know how.
Torie?
Yeah, but we don't know how she died yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So who's left? Let me see. Let me check my notes. Okay. So we still need to solve Sakura and her memory loss problem.
Yeah.
Yamada,
we had
need
more
to know
of that.
Why?
That's the only weird thing I felt shoehorned in this episode. She had like another flash of like the idols on stage, and they're like, "You okay?" And she's like, "Yeah." Like they just put that in there to remind you that, yep, this is a plot point. We're going to revisit this later, but we're too focused on talking about the zombie trans girl that we just. But trust us, this is important to the plot.
Yeah, don't forget.
So actually, we have Yamada, Sakura. I guess Saki. We don't really know how she died. We got a little bit brief flashback of her, but yeah, not much. And then there's Yugiri. So that's 4 things to wrap up. I mean, you may not have to solve Yamada. She could just be legendary Yamada.
What episode is this? This is episode 8.
That
so
was episode
9.
8, so we have 3 more.
So she's got to wake up in episode 9 for my premonition to come true.
I don't think so. That didn't look like a Yamada episode.
But honestly, what I do really want, I really want a Yugiri episode. Like that's what I've wanted since like the beginning. So I'm sure that's coming because she's like the only one who we haven't had like anything for. So
Maybe.
we'll
I
see.
feel like her story is so deep because it's so long ago and she seems so mature and different from the other girls. I feel like that's something that they could push to season 2. What I think in the next 3 seasons, or 3 episodes, I think this next episode is Saki. Maybe it's like a more fun episode. But I think they're going to end on Sakura getting her memory back. And I feel like Tai Yamada's going to wake up. Like, that's going to be the last scene of the final episode. Is her waking up. And that's
Okay,
it.
so you do think she's gonna wake up?
I
Because as much as I bluster about the fact that now I'm fully committed to the fact that she's gonna awake in episode 9. You know, there's a tiny part of me that I guess is like, they might never have her wake up, which is fine.
I thought they would keep her around for all the zombie goofs to be continued, but she's just there. Like, she doesn't do anything. She doesn't add anything. She just like wails her hands around every time they're dancing and like growls and stuff. Like that unless they do more for her to show her zombiness, I think they're gonna just wake her up.
Yeah, I think no, that's plausible because without Tai Yamada, you don't really have any zombie humor anymore. You can't have the weird. Well, yeah, you need that zombie person to remind you that they're zombies, and Tai Yamada is just that. I think it's likely that they save her for the final song, and like that's when she wakes up and she belts out, and it turns out she's like legendary singer, maybe? I don't know. Maybe legendary everything. She's just like she steals the show, essentially. I don't know.
That's a
I
good
think that's
point.
probably what they'll do.
That sounds like a good reveal. That would be the best time to do it.
Yeah, it would be. But I don't know. It's just there's not a lot of zombiness anymore, and I feel like if they're gonna use her as a zombie person, they got to use her as a zombie person.
Like,
since they haven't.
Well, I like, even though there's not a lot of zombie antics, it's like they're dealing with the theme of what being a zombie is, and I guess more so not as being a zombie, but coming back after a long period of time. Like with Junko and it was about, being a part of a world that's no longer there and dealing with, the modern world, which was a cool theme. And then this one is just like dealing with a loved one who has missed you for 7 years, and how do you go apart from that? So it's like, I guess I'm fine now without there being zombie antics, as long as they use the fact that these undead girls are brought back to like further, more emotional moments, which I think they have been doing the last like 2 to 3 episodes.
Yeah, I'm enjoying that they're leaning into the more dramatic as opposed to the comedy. But let's see, the past 2 episodes have been leading into that a bit more. So I think it's possible that they bounce back and do a funny one.
I think
for this one.
Yeah, I think next episode definitely.
To lighten it up again.
You could tell by the very long title of
That's
the
true.
episode.
Yeah.
And I guess if there's going to be someone with a funny character background, it might be Saki. I think
Biker
Saki
girl. Yeah.
would probably be the most likely.
Yeah.
But I'm with you in that. I really hope they do get into Yuguri's background, because that would be such a waste if they didn't. And I'm really excited to see what angle they would go with her, since her life was firmly set in the past, hundreds of years ago.
Like they could have easily have done the story. I mean, like what they gave to Ai and Junko. It's like, an idol from a different time. So how do you adapt to the modern time? So they can't re-hit those beats. So they're gonna have to do something like different. And I don't know what they're gonna do with her. So I hope it's something good. And now I have faith that it is going to be something good.
Yeah, same here.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, is there anything else you guys want to add?
Nope. I think that was
it.
solid episode.
Solid episode. All right, Coby, sign us off.
All right, you have found this on Nerd Blaze. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Seriously, leave a comment. We like hearing what you guys think and hearing the stuff that we usually get corrected about, something that we're wrong about, because sometimes we're wrong about stuff. And we like that. We like engaging, and we like all that fun stuff. But yeah, we'll be back this week. I guess it's today's Monday. We'll be back soon with another exciting episode of Zombie Land Saga review.
Thanks for all the comments who have commented already.
Yeah, thanks
Love you
all.
guys.
Thanks all you guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for listening, too. And I'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.